Guys, welcome back to the discussion. I am your girl Bria Van Kooten, and we are back with another And Just Like That review. We are discussing episode 3 of And Just Like That. Yeah, y'all, let's get into it, okay? To be or not to be, not. So, if you did not see me discuss episode 1 and 2, definitely go check it out. I will link it up here in the cards. Go check that out. But yes, let's get into episode 3. Episode 3 started off with Carrie in the podcast. She's doing her podcast. And of course, it's Carrie, it's Che, and then it's this other guy. I don't know his name. I don't remember his name. But yeah, they are discussing. And we jump to the scene where Carrie and Che are speaking, and Che is asking her, how she's doing, post Big's death, and she says she's doing better, and Carrie, she dismisses her feelings all through seasons 1 through 6 and the movies. She kind of dismisses her feelings because it was giving, but it's a TV show, so I can't really say, because it's I don't think she really mourned, but it's a TV show, so it's all right, let's go on to the next or whatever. But that's when we talk about, she was she's going to Che's comedy show. They made Che have a Netflix special, a Netflix taping. So Carrie said she's going, and then Che was like, oh no, you don't have to come, and she's like, you came to my funeral, I'm coming to your comedy special. So that was that. Then we jump to her and Miranda are walking outside, and Miranda says that she tells Carrie that she's listened to her podcast, and Carrie was like, oh really? Which I'm I feel like Miranda really listens to the podcast because she likes Che. And because all this time she's never listened to Carrie on the podcast, and then all of a sudden she meets Che, and now she's listening to Carrie's podcast, and then she brings up, oh, Che is funny. Obviously she's interested in some way, and Carrie was like, well, I'm glad you think so, because you're gonna come with me to her comedy show. And Miranda's like, oh yay, excited to go. So yeah, like I said in the last episode, I definitely see something budding with Miranda and Che for sure. A romantic thing is coming. And one thing I noticed between those two scenes, Carrie had her vintage Gucci side bag, which she had in season, I think it's season 3 or 4 of Sex and the City, when she was dating Aiden, and she went to the club and she had the side bag. She had that in this scene, and I was like, oh, they brought back the little vintage Gucci bag, little side bag. That was super cute. So then Miranda is going with Carrie to hear the reading of Big's will, and they're listening to the will being read, and we get to a part where everybody is like, oop, oop, oop. So I'm like, whose name is on this paper? The cameras skim over, and it is Natasha. Natasha's name is on the will. Big left her $1 million. And that sent, of course, Carrie spiraling down. This whole episode, she was just spiraling, trying to figure out why Big left Natasha $1 million, which, I mean, in real life, yeah, that is kind of shady, because it's you left your ex-wife who you cheated on with me, and now you're leaving her $1 million. Were you guys, which questions that Carrie had, were you guys in contact all this time and I didn't know? Why are you leaving her this money? Blah, blah, blah. So, but it was probably in my head watching the episode, I'm it was a peace offering of some sorts. So he felt he had to do something or had to leave her something because he felt bad. So it was all right, here's this $1 million. So now we jump to the scene because Carrie's kind of rushing so that she could go to lunch with, of course, Miranda, Charlotte, and then she invited Stanford, because then we see Stanford pop up into the scene where Charlotte is at the place where they're gonna have lunch, and Charlotte and Stanford have a little bicker where Stanford is like, oh, I'm here, I know, let's talk about this elephant in the room, because for years, I don't think you think that I'm part of this group, but I am part of this group. I'm Carrie's best friend, and I talked to my therapist about you, and then Charlotte's like, well, you can't come because we got a 3 top, and then Stanford is like, well, we all know a 3 top is really a 4 top, and it was funny, it was cute. It was very sad just because I know for a fact Stanford only filmed the first 3 episodes, so to know that in my head that that's his final episode, it was great to see him, and he was so funny, but it was so sad in my head because I was like, oh my god, this is his last episode and we're not gonna see him in the rest of the season. Like, it really made me sad. Even talking about it right now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna see Stanford for the rest of the season. Like, and I can't wait to see how they write his character off or what's gonna happen, because I know for a fact I watched the interview where they said they didn't kill him off, so I want to see how they changed the script and made his character. I don't know, we're gonna see. But yeah, they end up going to lunch. The 4 top ended up being horrible because they got placed at a table where they're next to the kitchen, so every time the door opened it hit Stanford in the back of the chair, and I was like, oh my god, so New York, like so New York. But Charlotte said she was trying to find a restaurant where Carrie hasn't gone with Big or Samantha, so that was the place that they chose. So at lunch, of course, Carrie is talking about the $1 million for Natasha. She's kind of spiraling a little bit, and Charlotte is just making her feel better. Charlotte's one of those friends, like, she is gonna say whatever just to make you feel better. She's like, you and Big are the happiest couple that I know, and blah blah blah. So yeah, then we jump to the scene where we're back at the penthouse and Carrie is on her laptop, and then she looks at Big's computer and she tries to get into the computer, and she's trying to put in his password. None of the passwords are working. She then goes to the closet and it starts going through like his pockets. She finds a paper in her pocket with a phone number, in his pocket with the phone number. She calls the phone number and it ends up being her house number, which I'm like, girl, you don't need a house phone number. I mean, I guess nobody really uses a house phone, but it was funny because I was like, first of all, he has a note in his pocket with his house phone number. And then she didn't know that was her house number, so yeah, it wrong. It was obviously the house. And then she see another part where she's trying to like plug his phone in to charge it. She don't know how to work the phones. And then she goes into like his wallet. She sees like cash, and she pulls out a photo of a dog he had named Gogi that she never knew about all these years. So she thinks, oh my gosh, she's spiraling and going crazy. First $1 million, now this dog that I never heard about that he was in love with. So then she gets on the phone with Miranda, and Miranda and Steve are having their nightly ice cream sundae binge where they watch something and eat ice cream. And then she said that's the only like passion, not even passion, but the only like excitement, there you go, the only excitement that her and Steve have in their relationship, which is like really sad. It's giving friend, okay? It's giving very friend vibes. But she said that's the only like excitement and passion and things that they have. So she said they haven't had sex in years. Ooh. And so the excitement is this Sunday night that they have eating Sundays and watching shows. So she's her and Miranda on the phone, and she tells Miranda that she emailed Natasha, but she hasn't heard anything back in hours. And then she finds, while she's on the phone with Miranda, she finds Natasha's Instagram, and she DMs Natasha. In a couple seconds of her talking to Miranda, Natasha blocks her on Instagram. And Miranda's like, oh, that bitch, she blocked you, blah blah blah. So again, more spiraling. She's just spiraling some more. All right, so a part that I did skip, let me go back a little bit. Charlotte is reading a book to Rose, and she calls Rose her baby girl, and Rose is like, no mom, I hate when you call me that. And she's like, well, you always will be my baby. She's like, not that, the girl part, because I don't feel like a girl. I've never felt like a girl. So we find out that Rose is non-binary, and like I said in the first episode, they're trying to like, of course they're writing in modern day situations into And Just Like That, which that is a modern day situation. Then we jump to the scene where she's at Hot Fellas, Anthony's sourdough business, where Rose is helping him, and she speaks to Anthony in the corner on the side and asks him about it. And Anthony, he made it very light, because he's like, oh, she said she wanted to be a dog when she was 6, and is she a dog? So we're gonna see how this storyline plays out. But of course it is showing the signs that yes, Rose is non-binary, because she doesn't want to be called girl or baby girl, or you know, she said she never felt that way. So we're gonna see how the storyline plays out, but it's a nice moment to see Anthony. Of course, he's hilarious as usual, and to see him really like love, because you could tell he like obviously loves Charlotte. He loves her children, so they're like a family. Like, it's really cute. And in that scene, I was saying Charlotte's outfit was super cute, very Charlotte. Like, it's like, I love how they have modernized her style but still kept that essence of Charlotte, like the very classy upper echelon, you know, Park Avenue woman, and that's what she is. So then the next day, we are waiting at Natasha's office because, of course, Carrie still didn't get an email back. Natasha has blocked her on Instagram, so, you know, she wants to speak to her. So she goes into the office. Okay, so at first they see her walk into her office, and like I said, Charlotte, she says anything just to make Carrie feel better. So she's like, oh my gosh, she's wearing flats. The worst diss. Like, it was so funny. I'm like, not flats, not that being the diss. So Carrie goes into the office to try to talk to Natasha. Charlotte and Miranda said they're gonna meet her in Starbucks. So they go to Starbucks to meet her, which this Starbucks is literally down the block to where I'm always at. And that day, I'm pretty sure I was in the area, not knowing that they were right down the block from me. I'm so mad that I missed them, because I would have been out there like, fangirling. Like, I'm so mad I was right there, because I always go into that Starbucks. Literally, I was in that Starbucks last Thursday getting a Frappuccino. Like, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But yeah, I digress. Carrie goes to the office. She says she wants to speak to Natasha. Her receptionist goes to the back and then comes back and she's like, I'm so sorry. Natasha is in Rome. Oh my God, mind you, I just said they saw her go into the office. So of course Natasha is avoiding her. So again, more spiraling. Carrie is mad. She walks to Starbucks. And in the meantime, while Carrie's there, Charlotte and Miranda are in Starbucks, and Miranda goes to get something, and Charlotte goes into her bag because she want to get a charger. But she ends up seeing little bottles of alcohol in Miranda's bag. So now she's worried and thinks something is going on. So she asks Miranda how's school, you know, how's life with you and Steve. That's when Miranda divulges that, you know, they haven't had sex in years, and the passion is gone, and the only excitement is the Sundays, like the Sunday nights where they have Sundays, eat Sundays and watch shows or whatever. So then Carrie comes in and she says, which obviously we know, they leave Starbucks and then they're walking down the street, and as they look up, they go look right into Natasha's office, and Natasha looks down on them, and they're like, oh my God, start running down the street like crazy people. So obviously Natasha knows that they're around there. She's lying. They know, which they already know, because like I said, they saw her walk into her office, but Natasha knows that they know that she's lying. So then we jump to a scene the next day where it's in the morning and Carrie's just walking around roaming. Her and Charlotte are on the phone, and there's this water tool that Charlotte was using. Like, I want to find out what that is, because I want one. I don't know what it is, but it looked like it's like a water cleaner for your mouth. I need one of those. So when she put it down, I was like, I need one of those. But she and Charlotte talking. She ends up meeting with Miranda on the front step of Miranda's school, and they're just talking. She was just basically telling Miranda she feels like how she felt when she was dating Big, like unsure and uncertain. And she said he messed up our happy ending of how happy we were before he died. So she said that, and then she ends up going to a coffee shop. She gets coffee, and then she ends up going into the bathroom on a woman. That woman was Natasha. She closes the door real quick, and then the coffee ends up falling on her hand and burning her. So she's sitting at the table when Natasha comes out, and Natasha's like, really? In the bathroom in the coffee shop? Like, and Carrie's like, I had no idea you were there. Like, I really had no idea you were in there. Natasha ends up sitting down. She gives her like the ice from her cup in a bag for her to put it on her burn, and they just start talking. She tells, you know, I didn't know about the million. I didn't know he was leaving me that. I haven't spoken to him in years. That makes Carrie feel better. They kind of had like they never had like that conversation, because back in what season was that? I think like season 4, when Carrie and Big slept together while he was married to Natasha. They did meet, because, well, not that they met. Carrie pulled up at her table when she was about to be on a date, and Natasha basically was like, I don't want to hear nothing you have to say, like F you basically. And so they never really had like a heart-to-heart sit-down moment. So this was that. And they basically, well, Carrie basically apologized for what happened years ago. And then Natasha was like, I don't even know why he married me when he was obviously in love with you. And yeah, they just basically had like a little heart-to-heart, little understanding. And basically like, please don't follow me on Instagram. We don't need to be following each other, like, or nothing. This is it. Like, we don't even need to talk after this. And then also in that scene, I want to talk about another bag. Carrie had the Gucciaga, the Gucci and Balenciaga collab bag, which I was like, okay, the hacker collection, because that bag is super cute. It's like the Balenciaga shaped bag with the GGs all over it. That collection, they had some really, really cute pieces. So I saw that bag and I was like, okay, that's cute or whatever. But I was, of course, you know, they keep Carrie in the designer things because that's how her character was built. So like I said, she had the vintage Gucci in the beginning, and then she had the Gucciaga, and then later on in the episode when she goes to Chase comedy special, she had the Fendi baguette, the purple sparkly Fendi baguette, which obviously Carrie has worn the Fendi in couple seasons. So, you know, they just basically modernized her bag collection. So then we jump to the scene where they are at Chase comedy special. It's Miranda, Carrie, and Charlotte. They went, and Charlotte starts getting emotional because Che is basically speaking about her coming out story and how her parents, her family was accepting. All they cared about was like, move, you're blocking our football game. But they were accepting of her. They never like pushed her in the corner or disowned her. So Charlotte started to feel emotional watching, because obviously, like I said, Rose is non-binary, so now she has to learn how to navigate this new life and basically be there for her child and know how to deal with the situation delicately but loving, because that's still your child, you know. And it was a really, really nice moment to see because she was really getting emotional, and I love to see it. Like, it was really nice. And then Che was pretty funny. And then like the last thing she was saying on her comedy special was like, it's okay to change, like don't be stuck, it's okay to move on, it's okay to change. And that like put a battery in Miranda's back, because she was really feeling like that moment for real. So then Charlotte and Carrie end up going, they leave in their Uber. And Miranda's like, oh, don't worry, my Uber is coming, which I knew as soon as I heard that. I was like, oh, she's staying, she's not going home, she's gonna go hang out with Che. So Carrie and Charlotte leave, and then Miranda goes back into the after. They have an after party now, so she goes into the after party, and Che sees her. She's like, okay, Rambo. And they have like a little moment or whatever. She's just like spilling just a whole bunch, and Che's like, all right, slow down, calm down, be quiet, you're doing too much. And she's smoking, Che is smoking weed, and she asks Miranda if she wants to smoke, and Miranda's like, no, I don't do things that I'm not good at. I was like, girl. So then Che was like, can I shotgun you? And she does it, which if you don't know what it is, if you didn't watch the episode, is basically when you blow the marijuana smoke into another person's mouth. So she did that to Miranda, and you could tell Miranda, you know, she got a little turned on or whatever. Like, she's feeling Che. Like I said in the first episode, I could see that coming from a mile away. Like, she's definitely feeling Che. I could see it. So then we jump to the scene where Carrie and Charlotte are in the Uber on their way home, and of course, Charlotte tells Carrie about Miranda having the alcohol in her bag, the little bottles. Carrie is so funny. Like, she was like, maybe she's having a little party in her bag. And I'm like, the little shit that she say is hilarious. So she's like, let's just see. Because Charlotte's like, you know, I saw the little bottles. She drank 2 glasses of wine, da-da-da. Maybe she's drinking too much. And Carrie's like, you know, we're going to see. Stop thinking about it. We're going to see. Like, be quiet. So she kind of like shunned that to the side. They drop Carrie off to the penthouse, to her and Big's apartment, and she ends up not going inside. She ends up walking back to, you already know, the Carrie Bradshaw apartment on Perry Street or whatever, and it ends. And just like that, I walked myself home. And another thing that I saw, someone commented, which I also noticed in the first episode, someone commented on my video and was like, they see Carrie being with Chase, sound guy, producer, the guy that's like in the back room, and I definitely can see that for sure. I see them being together. I can see them going on a date. Something is gonna happen between them, and he's cute. So I was like, okay, I can see that for sure. But guys, that is episode 3 of And Just Like That. Like I said, if you did not check out my review for episode 1 and 2, definitely go check it out. It's linked in the cards. And go check out my previous videos. I did And Just Like That, and I also did reviews for the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip episodes 1 through 7, so definitely go check those out. But we're gonna see how this rest of the season goes. So far, it's cute. It's definitely cute. I'm enjoying it just for like I love Sex and the City. I'm such a fan. So for nostalgia's sake, I feel like I really enjoy it. And I'm just gonna keep watching the season and see where it goes. All right, y'all. I will see you guys in the next And Just Like That review coming this week. So definitely stay tuned for that. I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you think of this episode. And of course, like this video if you would like. And subscribe to the channel to see more, y'all. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Love. Deuces.